Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, today we're going to be discussing how healing never truly ends. Whether it's just healing in general, from all things, your past trauma, childhood trauma, relationship trauma, personal trauma, just any type of situation that you've been through in your life, every lesson that you've ever learned, we're constantly learning, we're constantly healing, we're constantly leveling up, we're constantly changing as human beings. It never really ends. It never does. And I think it's a beautiful thing I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to take a lesson, learn from it, be better, grow from it. For me, I find growth and healing, getting to different levels mentally, emotionally, spiritually is beautiful. It's definitely one of the biggest beauty in being alive and living and being human. You get to witness your growth as a person. And I don't know about y'all, but every time I go through something, a situation in life, or I get hurt and I'm put in a situation and I come out of it wiser, stronger, emotionally, mentally elevated and better as a person in general, that fulfills my soul. There's no such thing as healing from one thing and then being like, okay, you wake up one day and you're magically healed from all of your issues, from all of your mistakes, from everything. You're just magically healed and you are done healing. There is no such thing. We are constantly learning, making mistakes. We're human. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I am emotionally unstable. Very reactive. I can be a bit prideful and I can be cold. I was recently talking to somebody that opened up my eyes to that because in my mind, I just wasn't aware that I was that way. I've been told by other people, but it didn't register in my mind. It just didn't click. But for some reason with this person, I learned it. I learned big time how I was affecting him, how I've probably affected other people in my past, and how damaging my behavior was. And I truly believe that people are sent in your life to teach you things, and in exchange you also teach them something as well. And we're all intertwined with each other, and we're all put on this earth for a reason. We all have a plan that God has for all of us. Some people are put in your life for a certain amount of time, for certain seasons, for different reasons. I feel like every situation that I've ever been in, whether it's seeing somebody differently or being in a particular situation, I come out of it learning so much about general life stuff, learning more about myself. It's crazy how life will teach you things. And in the moment, you may not understand, you may not see what is actually happening, what is God actually doing, until you're out of the situation and you come to a realization of a lesson. And then it's like, yeah, that's why I had to go through this. That's why I had to meet this person. I dealt with this person, so I had to face it in the next person. And I behaved this way to that person, and that person gave me a taste of my own medicine. And it's like, it's a constant learning circle, right? We're all learning from each other, and you just never stop healing. When you think that you're healed from one thing, you realize that you have more to heal, and then you heal those parts, and then you discover that you actually have more parts to you that you didn't know that you need healing from. It's just crazy. Don't ever think that you're constantly fucking up. Don't ever think that you're a fuck up, because you're not. You're human. We are bound to make mistakes. You're bound to mess up. You're imperfect. You're imperfectly perfect. You're just not gonna be perfect. There's no such thing. Trust me, if I could be perfect, I would be perfect. I would love to be perfect. So I don't shit on nobody. So I don't fuck up, I wish I was perfect, but we're not fucking perfect. That's the reality of it. We can only try to aim and be as the best version of ourselves as we possibly can, but we will never be perfect. So don't ever feel like I'm constantly fucking up with this, I'm constantly fucking up with that. And yes, that's great to be aware of your mistakes and to take accountability and to realize them, but you never stop fucking up. And I think some people don't realize that. You don't realize that there's no set amount of fuck-ups that you can have in a day, in your lifetime. It's limitless. You're bound to make mistakes. Man, I thought I had healed from whatever big situation happened in my life. Losing my grandma and my grandpa on the same day. Losing my pets. Grieving the old me in a long-term relationship that I was in. Grieving who I was in that relationship. Grieving the relationship itself. Grieving mainly the old me and what I allowed and what I had put up with, that I shouldn't have put up with for as long as I did. But I love it. I honestly love how I'm constantly learning something new about myself every day, through people, through my son, through my family members, through dating, through being by myself. I'm always realizing, trying to be self-aware of my behavior, the things that I say. And yeah, life is just a constant teacher, teaching you things. Every opportunity is an opportunity to learn something new, learn something about yourself that you may need to improve on and fix. And for me, like, I do a lot of self-sabotaging. I don't think I've ever talked about this. This should be a whole ass new video, but I self-sabotage. Well, I used to. I'm really working towards not being that way, but I self-sabotage a lot because, I don't know, that's just the way that my brain was conditioned. And through the events that happened in my life, I just became that way. That was like my way of coping, handling. That was my, what is the word? You know, when you're in survival mode, go into survival mode and then you just have this behavior that's not healthy, that's toxic. You're not fully aware. You just think that you're so right in your mind, when in all reality, you are prideful as fuck. I must admit that for a long time in my life, I have been very selfish, and I've always thought that I was a selfless person. When it comes to giving, I will literally give you my last dollar, my last piece of food, my last spare change. I will give whatever I can to anybody that's in need of it. But when it comes to certain aspects and certain situations, I do tend to be selfish, and I only think about how I feel, what I believe, what I think. Me. And I never realized how selfish I was. So yeah, somebody that I was talking to pointed it out to me. I didn't realize that I was all about me. It's my fucking world, right? And it's not good to be that way. Because yes, this is my fucking world, bitch. But there's just some things that, I don't know, I guess, you know, life happens and it turns you cold and it makes you have no tolerance for any type of bullshit or what you perceive as bullshit. So that's how I became. It's good to be that way to an extent. After that, it's like, okay, you need to realize how you are affecting other people. You need to realize how you're hurting other people. And I never used to think about that, because I just used to think, okay, I'm right, you fucked up, bye, don't give people chances, completely shut them out, go cold. It's like they don't exist to me. And that's that. And that's not a healthy way to think. That's not a healthy way to go about things. And for the longest time, I was going about things exactly that way, being super selfish. And then I finally fucking learned how selfish I was, how cold I was, how narrow-minded I was, how insensitive I was. That's the perfect word to explain. Insensitive. Because I was so focused on how the fuck I felt, I didn't give two shits about who's feeling worse than me, because I'm feeling worse than you. That's my attitude. It's so ugly. There's a lot of lessons that I recently learned, and it was that, being self-aware of my behavior and how I act and behave, process things, see things. So I've been really just enjoying trying to better myself in that way. As much as I like to believe that I am an emotional person, I'm an empath, relationship-wise, there's so much trauma there that I don't empathize with anybody, and that's bad. The last guy that I was talking to definitely opened up my eyes to a lot of things. I don't know why only now it's registering in my mind. I don't know why only now I'm realizing my behavior and my actions, and I don't know why I'm realizing all this now, but I truly believe in timing, and you really only see things how you see things. And I think that's why it's so important, that Bible verse of not leaning on your own understanding and trusting in God with all your heart. You can't lean on your own understanding at all. It will fuck you up. So that's something that I'm really working on, and I have been actively working on. I'm tired of my own shit. Like, you get tired of your own shit. You get tired of your own behaviors and ways of thinking and feeling and how you feel towards certain things or how you think about certain things. You get sick of it. At some point, you get sick of your own shit, and I think that's where growth is super beautiful. Realizing that you need to change, and I needed to change. And change is beautiful. Change is honestly beautiful. Took some years, sissy poo. But we're here. We're trying to be better. You also have to be patient with people because they're not going to understand you because you see things very different from other people. You can't expect people to think the way that you think, respond how you would want them to respond. But just because they respond to you in a different way doesn't mean that they don't understand you or that they're not on the same page. Just having that understanding of other people's different ways of processing things. You never stop learning. You know, I would love to hear from you guys and to know what are some recent lessons that you've learned within yourself or within life or with other people, with dating, with love. Whatever it is, I want to hear. Put it down below in the comments. I'd love to know what are some life lessons that you learned recently. Because I know a lot of us can learn from each other. Those are just some of the things that I've learned. I'm sure there's so many other things that I have yet to work on that I'm not aware of. You never stop healing. And when you think you've healed from one thing, it's like you have to heal from something else. Or there's something else that you didn't realize that you were doing that you need to heal from. Just know you're not a fuck up. You're not supposed to be perfect. You're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna constantly be learning a lot about life, about relationships, about yourself. It's crazy when you realize that you had things to work on, but you, for whatever reason, didn't click in your mind. You didn't think that you needed to work on that, but you do. It's crazy because our perspective is sometimes can be clouded and misconstrued. So share with me down below in the comments what are some life lessons that you guys learned. I could definitely learn a thing or two from anyone that has any advice. Leave it down below in the comments. And we're all out here. We're all out here being human, learning, trying to be better. You're not alone. We are all just trying to learn and be better.